Although many are no longer bemused by pyramids, yet new discoveries about them can interest us, especially those by Joe Rogan. Looking at their discovered mysteries, Joe believes they were made with advanced technology instead of pulleys. What are these technologies? Keep watching to find out. When a 4,500-year-old ramp system was found in an ancient quarry in the eastern desert that was used to pour alabaster stones, this system offered insight into how the Egyptians built the pyramids. Found by a group of archaeologists from the University of Liverpool and the French Institute of the Orient Archeology in Cairo, it dates back to the time of Pharaoh Cheops, who's said to have built the Great Pyramid of Giza. The ramp system has a medial ramp with double stairs and many post holes used to up hefty alabaster blocks with ropes tied to sleds. Although this is an obviously big discovery, it's simple to say how significant it is when the archaeologists print their findings. But this is not the only reason Joe, during a JRE podcast, thinks the pyramids were made with advanced technology, and expressed his surprise and curiosity that ancient civilizations could make such wonderful structures. Joe admired its society and culture, and how they could intelligently build 5,000-year-old pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza contains 2.3 million stones and an astonishing structure. Also, he thought it possible that human civilization might have even previously been more refined, and that probably an asteroid attack had made us more primitive. From the impact theory, he expressed his accordance with Graham Hancock's and Randall Carlson's theory that humans had attained a high level of involution, but were trumped by comet effects of an early cataclysm of 12,800 years ago that wiped nearly all of it from the human mind. Although there were survivors, most of it was removed. The instance at the top of the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid has been constantly cited by Graham. 5 more chambers are roofed with hundreds of granite beams weighing about 70 tons each. Little wonder Joe Rogan is correct about the scientists being challenged. It had created something astonishing that would outrun time, even millions of years later. The reason for Joe's interest in this theory is getting obvious. Number 2. Another theory says stones were lifted by sound waves. There's been a lot of research on the structure of the Giza Pyramid. One of them, by the Ancient Origins website, says sounds were used by Egyptians in the building of the Giza pyramids, the dead ends of used in buildings the pyramids. According to him, emblems on a mystic papyrus were put under each stone, and then an iron bar was hit against the stone to make it rise. The stone was carried with metal poles on its socks in the pyramid and served as resonance tubes, resulting in ultrasonic waves of around 5 Hz. This shows the significance of sound to ancient Egyptians and the possibility of its usage by other ancient civilizations. Abdul Hassan Ali al-Masudi, a 10th century historian, wrote on ancient Egyptian methods used for transporting hefty stones, and the poles are believed by some to be used for heightened frequency sounds that cause rising. Although there is no authentic proof that the pyramids were constructed with audio-visual technology. Let's talk about the impressive audio-visual capabilities. The Great Pyramid has impressive audio-visual capabilities, like projecting sounds at certain frequencies. Those who built the pyramids at Giza knew a lot about sounds and their implications with levitation researchers around the globe. Although experiments have yet to fully figure out the Giza Pyramid, the UK-Brazil team and the University of Bristol team employed diverse means to accomplish levitation. The UK and Brazilian teams could use 3 ultrasonic transducers on a tripod to break former limitations. Various experiments have proven that levitation through sound waves is achievable in different ways. Further tests may help find more effective ways of using sound to levitate. Although Graham suggests the presence of spiritual powers, Joe may have discovered something here. What we've seen so far, while Graham said we should consider the possibility of spiritual powers, but Joe might have discovered something. Another theory states a mysterious 30 feet long void inside the Great Pyramid. Scientists are even more confused, as this is the first notable inner architecture found in the 4,500-year-old pyramid since the 19th century. According to an archaeologist, Egyptologist and National Geographic emerging explorer, it is the century's discovery. The Exploration Pyramids project had previously announced the detection of some similar discoveries, which is familiar since the insides of the pyramid are said to be deeper than imagined. The new discovery is surprising, especially in its use of muon radiography, which was first used in the pyramids of Giza. Chris Morris, a physicist at Los Alamos National Laboratory knowledgeable in muon image, finds it desirable and remarkable. Muon imaging uses muons, tiny subatomic particles that constantly spew cosmic rays back at Earth that collide with our atmosphere. A team led by physicist Kunihiro Morishima of Nagoya University discovered the void in their research in March 2016. The team didn't know what it was, but some Egyptologists have developed some theories. Many Egyptologists like Spence, a Cambridge archaeologist, and Salima Ikram of the American University Cairo, among others, have opined that it's connected to construction, but are mere speculations. The void's purpose is still a mystery, but Tayyubi and the pyramid exploration team are just getting started. For those who dream of exploring the void, be warned that there are no known corridors. There are no plans to drill into it in the near future, instead planning to non-invasively study the void as much as possible. They found what they believed to be evidence of a large void above the Grand Gallery that had never been known before. And in related news, Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities made an exciting announcement about a new discovery at Saqqara, which was once also an ancient Egyptian burial. They found a mortuary temple belonging to the queen near him, located next to the pyramid of her husband, Pharaoh Teti. If you need to find out who the pharaoh was, Teti ruled Egypt from 2323 BC until 2291 BC, so of course there was a special place. To commemorate him after his death, this temple was made of stone and had 3 adobe deposits on the southeast side, where offerings were made to the queen and her husband. During the excavation, a team of Egyptian archaeologists also found a series of burial pits near the pyramid that contained remains of people who lived during the 18th and 19th dynasties of Egypt. While that was interesting, what really surprised them was when they stumbled across a 13-foot-long papyrus containing chapter 17 of the Book of the Dead. This manuscript was used by the ancient Egyptians to guide the deceased through the afterlife. The papyrus was particularly interesting as it had the owner's name written by worker F, also found on one of the coffins, and 4 figures from the chapter. Scientists are currently analyzing the text, and it remains to be seen whether this newly discovered copy of chapter 17 has the same question and answer format as other copies. But other copies have been known to include a series of questions and answers that were like a cheat sheet for those trying to navigate the afterlife. Now you know why it's so important. Along with the papyrus of the Book of the Dead, the team also found more than 50 wooden sarcophagi, a Senate board game, a riverboat with oarsmen, a statue of Batar, as well as the wooden masks of Osiris and the sanctuary of Anubis, and a sanctuary funeral dedicated to a queen of the Old Kingdom. These Egyptians were really just like us common people, huh? These antiquities, each in 52 different burial pits 33 to 40 feet deep each in the capital of the Old Kingdom, Memphis, and date back to the New Kingdom era, are older than coffins from the previous 8 centuries, making them much more important. In the 4th statement issued by the Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, many hundreds of mummies and the pyramid of an anonymous queen were just excavated at Saqqara recently. Archaeologists at Giza found, several hundreds of years after the excavation of King Tut's tomb, which is said to replace our knowledge about old Egyptian royalty. And it was made in Saqqara, where several hundreds of tombs were discovered, probably having those of King Tut's close-up ministers and generals. An archaeologist mentioned that they discovered a massive limestone sarcophagus, as well as 300 coffins, dating back to the New Kingdom period in several numbers of mummies. The coffins have different and rare faces and are decorated with pictures from the Book of the Dead. For future civilization discovery, each coffin has the dead person's name and stands for Horus's 4th son, who was known. This marks the end of today's video. and a deeply appreciated gratitude to all who followed it from the beginning to the end. Please express your opinion in the comment section below, and kindly do well to like, share, and subscribe for more if you enjoyed it.